demo. There we go. Okay, there's me to-do list for the day. So I'm just going to show the website very quickly. I'm not going to dither around on any of this. I'm just going to run through it all very quickly so you get an idea of everything that's going on with the platform and why it might be of interest to you. Now, cheers Tim in the chat, John, hello, and yeah, I'm just going to quickly demonstrate each feature of Station Master. Now, I'm not trying to convert people. If you're happy with the way you log, you crack on. But there are people out there that do like this platform, and a lot of people keep asking me to do videos about it and what it's all about. So this is that video, and I thought I'd do it as a real-time live recording. I'll edit this down later in the YouTube. You know, in the back end there you can edit the videos, even the live stream. So I'll edit out all the rubbish bits and all the mistakes that I make after the event. So this is just a live recording. I'm just going to crack through the list. If you've got any questions as I go, just pop them up in the chat. I'm monitoring the YouTube chat only, so if you're watching on Facebook I won't see it. So jump over to the YouTube chat if you want to ask something and you're watching on Facebook or another platform. Okay, so the website. So let's start off with the website. If you Google Station Master Cloud, you will end up here, and if I log out, you will see this. So this is the first thing that you will see when you come to the website. Hey Nathan, hey Lee, and basically it's just giving you a highlight of what's going on the platform at the moment. It's not live data. Well, it is live, but it won't refresh in real time. It will only do that if you're logged in. So this is a snapshot in time of who's on what frequency at the moment, whether they were TXing when you opened the page or not. For example, Darian there, he was obviously TXing when I opened the page, so it's stuck on TXing. Down the left hand side we've got a list of some articles. Now I didn't write these articles, full disclosure, I used ChatGTP to create these articles. It's just a bit of content, but the trouble is with ChatGTP, it does make a lot of mistakes, so you still have to read it and correct it, but I did cheat. And that's what they are. There's a load of videos there. It's mainly YouTube videos. Anybody that's got an account on the platform can post their videos. So there's nothing to stop anybody who's a registered member posting their videos, and they'll be visible on the site. And if I click on a video, this one for example, you can watch it here, or you can obviously go off to YouTube. Now if I go to my profile page, there will be a list of all of my videos that I've ever uploaded here as well, so they automatically get listed. Same with all the other stuff, any SSTV image that I've ever logged, pictures that I've uploaded, and I can also record MP3s of QSOs as I'm doing them, but we'll get to that when we look at the desktop program. But think of this as like a QRZ profile, but it's not QRZ, it's just Station Master. And anybody can go here and look you up and look at your log history. Now the difference between Station Master and QRZ is I can actually type anybody up and see who on the platform has contacted them, for example. So if I go to Andy's profile, I can actually see who else on the platform has logged Andy. So it's showing logged by other operators. Hey Danielle, hope you're well. And I can see all of these people have logged Andy at some point in the past. So that's something that's unique to this platform, and I can also see all of Andy's logs as well. In fact, it shows the last 500 contacts that he made. So there we go. That's you can look up anybody. So I don't know, Sugar51 David X-Ray, 51DX, is that Yanes? We can see 276 contacts logged in Station Master for him by users on the platform over the last couple of years, which is crazy. Mostly SSB. I think that's Yanes. I think, is it, what's his brother's name? Sugar57 David X-Ray. I've forgotten his name. So there we go. So this is the website, and on its own you can't really do anything. You can, if you create an account, well, I'm going to log in because I've already got an account. You can log directly in this website, by the way, and it is mobile friendly. So if you go to the log page, you can actually just log here. So I don't know, M0TPT, SSB, USB, 7188. Make sure you put it in kilohertz, not megahertz. So don't put 7188. It won't work. It will log it as the wrong band. You can change the time, and if I log this now, click log, that will put it straight in the database. And if I go to the home page, anybody else that's on the platform will see that I've just logged David. So there's a live feed here of all of the contacts being made by all users on the platform in real time or near real time. Okay, so that's the website. Within the My Account section, you can actually pull in. Can you add auto detect for the decimal? Well, I could, Nathan, but the problem is when you get into gigahertz, it really starts to mess things up, because I have no way of knowing whether you're in gigahertz, megahertz or kilohertz. So you kind of have to define and say you have to enter it in this particular format. But I do need to, I need to sort that out in the future. I think Log4OM, and I think OmniRig also has problems dealing with gigahertz. But yeah, it's on the to-do list, but for now, just enter it in kilohertz. And I can see Danielle's just signed up. Well done. So what I need to do here now, Danielle, I can actually give you your blue Twitter badge. If I go into, only admins can do this, by the way. If I go into this page, I can say that call sign is now confirmed and verify, and Danielle now gets the blue badge. The seal of approval. The reason for that is in case bots create accounts and all that sort of stuff. Once you've got the blue badge, you can do more things within the platform. You kind of get the you're assigned the privileges to actually use the platform. If you're without the blue badge, you're kind of locked down a little bit. It's just a security measure really to stop bots and things scraping all the data off the platform and doing silly things. Okay, so that's the website. So think of the website as the cloud for Station Master. Now there is a mobile app and there is a desktop app as well. So if we put the website to one side for a moment, we've already got an account there, and we'll close that down. Next thing is the desktop app. So we'll just quickly cover this, and then I'll talk about the mobile app as well. And hey Barry, and anybody else in the chat there, thanks for dropping by. So to get the app, I'll just bring the website back up again. Just go to download the desktop app here, and there's the link there. Just download that, and it should prompt you to install anything else that you need. It might ask you to install .NET 6 or 7 desktop runtime, so you will need to do that for it to work. There is a video there actually of me talking about the whole platform. It's quite an old video, so a lot of the screenshots and stuff that I show you are going to be out of date on that video, but it might still be useful if you want to connect from M1MM or Log4OM and all of these other platforms. There's still instructions in there on how to do that if you're looking for that. But let's assume you've downloaded the app and you've got the desktop app running. Does it still do the security message? Yeah, it's you still get warnings, Nathan. Unfortunately, it's a common thing in ham radio, isn't it? When you download programs, you get security warnings. The reason is, in order to avoid those, you need to pay thousands of pounds to some random company for them to give you a digital signing certificate to add to your software, just so you don't get those warning messages. And even when you do that, it still takes hundreds of people downloading your app and not reporting a problem before the warnings actually go away. So there's no quick fix. Even paying all that money wouldn't instantly get rid of all the warnings. Okay, so let's say you've downloaded the app and you've got Station Master Desktop running. And Danielle, I know you're 11 meters, and I've today added in the 11 meter cluster here, which would be of interest to you. You can spot through it as well, and you can see what's coming through on the 11 meter cluster. And obviously if I click that now, my radio will jump straight to that frequency. But before we get into that, you might see different versions of this, different colors. If I go into visual effects, or sorry, user interface, I can set dark mode and then save and restart, and it will come back in a dark mode. So we'll switch it back, just because it's probably easier to see on the recording, in light mode. Once you've got it installed, you do need to click on you'll need to click on this. So if let me just do a quick create new profile test. You don't need to do this, but when you first install it, it will pop up like this. It will ask for all of your information. So just put your name in, put your call sign in that box, fill in all of the usual stuff, and all of the rest is kind of optional at that point. You should then be able to get it actually running. So there we go. You'll end up like this, and what you'll then need to do is click connect to cloud. It will pop up, and what you do there is actually log in with the email and password that you used when you registered on the website just now, and that will connect the desktop app up to the cloud. And what that means is, if I switch back to my main profile, everything that I do in here, so if I log something now, M1 test, click go. If I log that call sign and click log, it will not only log it in my local log here, it will also push it up again to the cloud website. So there we go, we can see that I've just logged. So the first one I did earlier on was logging through the website. This one was logging through the desktop app, and the same thing happens if you log through the mobile app. It all appears here in the cloud in real time. Not only does it appear there, it actually you get entered onto this leaderboard here as well. So the most voiced QSOs today goes to this call sign here, and I'm not sure why his name's not coming up. He's probably somebody that's registered under a different email call sign and changed his call sign, which has confused the system. But anyway, he's at the top, and Kevin's number 2. If we click on Kevin, there we go. We all know Kev. Everybody's heard Kev on the radio. And there's actually recordings here that I've made. Will it actually come through on OBS? Desktop audio. This might echo or something, but it's just a quick demo.
Just over the 9 with me, go ahead.
Yeah, Roger, you're exactly the same this way. Just over on the meter there, sounding absolutely fantastic as normal, Kev. And
not sure if that's coming through.
How many logs you got on the fire tonight, Kev?
How much have I got? Yeah.
So there we go. I don't know if that came through on the stream, but that's the ability to record QSOs as you're having them. And to do that, you just press this button here. So let's say I was on the radio now and I press that button, it would start recording my audio and the audio of the person that I'm speaking to. As soon as I click stop or click log, it will automatically stop recording and it will upload that to the cloud. You can delete it if you want, and it's not there permanently, or just click clear if you don't want to upload it. How do you do the recordings? Yeah, they are linked to the QSO, Nathan. So if I go back to this contact here with Kevin that I had, you can see this is the actual QSO that I had. There's the details and there's the recordings I made during that QSO. Excuse me. So yeah, and what happens actually, there's a little when you do a recording and you store that or log it, it actually puts a little music icon next to the contact here so other people can see you've made a recording. There's probably not one there on this feed because nobody's made a recording in the last sort of 100 QSOs or so. So that's pretty cool. And if I go to the home page and just scroll, where do we go? Here we go. QSO recording section here. Look, if I go to that page, now this is on the website. I know I'm looking at the desktop app, but this tab here is just a web page that has Station Master baked inside of it. So if I actually bring up the website, I can go to that same page, scroll down a bit, QSO recordings, and there we go. It's the whole archive of all of the recordings ever made on Station Master, and all of those recordings automatically get stamped onto that person's profile page. So let's say there's somebody that's not even on the platform, like this person. If I go to their profile, that recording is there. So let's say 10 people on Station Master all separately made a recording of a QSO with this station. It might be a Rare DX station or whatever. They would all get compiled onto this one page so other people could go in and have a listen back. If you're a Station Master user and somebody makes a recording of you during a QSO, the system will email you to say XYZ made recorded your QSO, and you can go and listen to it. I am going to add the ability that the person being recorded has the ability to delete it if they want, because I think that's only fair, but it doesn't allow you at the moment. It only allows site admins or the person that recorded it to delete them. So if there is a recording on there you're not happy with, that you don't want out in the public or whatever, just contact either the person that made the QSO and ask them to delete it, or contact somebody that's got one of these admin badges, and they can delete it as well for you. Okay, so that is Station Master Desktop, the website. That's Station Master Desktop. Within Station Master Desktop we have the cluster. So you've got the you've got the DX cluster for ham radio, and we've also got an 11 meter cluster running at the same time. I've only added that today, as I said earlier on. So to do that, by default it will automatically log you in to a cluster, a ham radio cluster. It will automatically do that. You can force it to log you in with a certain call sign if you want. For example, if you're currently in a profile that has a /p as your call sign, the cluster won't like that. So you can tell it, actually I want to log into the cluster with this call sign. So that's all that's doing. The cluster host and port is empty because it's just using the platform default cluster. But if you're not happy with the default one, you can change that. To find out what cluster you're logged into, just click on this telnet and scroll up, and you can see where it's logged you in. So we're on GB7 DJK cluster. If you don't want to be on that cluster, like I say, you just go in and change it to a different one. You do need to put you do need to format it like this. So the host name : port number, put that in there, your call sign, and it will restart. So save restart, it will log you in. This 11 meter cluster is a bit different. You do need an account, so you need to click on this link here for this to work. Click on this link and it will take you to this website, and go create account. Type in your 11 meter call sign, fill in the details. It will take potentially, I don't know, 6-12 hours for them to actually let you in. So it won't work straight away, but they'll email you to say, okay, you're in, and here's your login details. Once you've got that, you can go back here, put these details in there, your 11 meter call sign in there, save restart, and it will let you in. Okay, let me just quick look at the chat. Who we got here? Colin, how you doing? Barry, Nathan, Neil, and okay, so it did come across on the stream. Happy days. So yeah, when you go to the website, if you're not logged in, you can't actually listen to the recording. So just create an account using your call sign, whether it's 11 meters or whatever. Everybody's welcome. There is actually a tick box here to say whether you're 11 meters CB ham or whether you're a shortwave listener. Just tick the relevant box, and when your profile is generated, it will show the relevant information. So for example, on my profile, it will show information based off of the call sign. So it's done a lookup in a database and determined that this is an England full license. So that's all automatic. Obviously if you're an 11 meter guy, your prefix is going to be 26 whatever something something. So you wouldn't want it to try and figure out your QTH and stuff from that information. So tick the other box and it will show different information relevant to 11 meters. Okay, hey Andy, how you doing? Does it have a dark mode? It does, Lee, and you're obviously late on parade because I showed that a minute ago. Actually the website has a dark mode, maybe that's what you mean. There we go, dark mode. So there we go, we've got a dark mode on the website if you want it. I'll leave it off for the moment. Okay, so desktop. You've got QRZ there, you've got the cloud website, you've got WebSDR. I'll quickly demonstrate how that works. So if we look up somebody, M0TPT, David, do a search, it automatically gets his name from QRZ. If you've put your QRZ information in the settings, it will look that up automatically. So I can look up anybody. We had Tim in earlier on, G5TM. If I search for him, it's going to come up. It's showing him as red because I've already worked him in this logbook. It's showing me that I've worked him on 40 meters and I've worked him 6 times in the past. If I'd worked him on other modes and bands, it would obviously highlight different green dots as well. If you've used Log4OM, that's basically the same way as their platform works. That's kind of what inspired me to use this grid matrix. Maybe other platforms do a similar thing, but it's kind of the obvious way to display that information in a neat little format. So yeah, it automatically looks up the information there, and if I click go, it will actually, if I go back here, I can say in the user interface, when I click go open the map, let me just restart it because my map's not working. There we go, it's working now. Okay, so I've told it every time I click go or press enter in this box, I want it to automatically bring up the person on the map. And the cool thing here is it's showing me distance, bearing, so if you've got a beam or anything like that, and it's obviously showing me the location on the map as well. So if I go VK2OMG, Rob in Aussie land, then it does the same thing there. And obviously that will work anywhere else in the world. Okay, so does it push the does it tie into WSJTX? Yeah, it does. When I click on telnet, it says invalid call sign. Yeah, so Danielle, you need to make sure that in the cluster setting, put it in the bottom box. Make sure it's in the bottom box, not the top box, because unfortunately the 11 meter cluster servers seem to have a slightly different protocol to the ham radio ones. I'm sure they are the same, but they do seem to be slightly different. So make sure you put it in the bottom box, not the top box, and you should be good. It might be saying invalid call sign because it's still trying to log you in on the main cluster as well. So maybe ignore that and see what happens. It may still be working for you. To answer Nathan's question, does it link into WSJTX? Yes, it does. I can demonstrate that now. So we've already got WSJTX installed, so we'll fire that up from the shortcut link, and it's the same for WSJTZ or any other program, to be honest. Just make sure you go into here, go to settings in WSJTX, go to reporting, and this bottom section here, you just need to tick that box because these are the default values here. This 127001 and 2333 are the default values. Just tick this box and make sure it's on. That is all you need to do in order to have your FT8 contacts automatically show up in Station Master, and I will actually demonstrate that now. So if we go back here, clear the screen, and actually we're not on there, are we? So maybe it wouldn't work. Okay, I won't demonstrate it now, but take my word for it. Every time you log a contact, it will pop up over here in this contact log as an FT8 contact like this one here. And not only that, it will automatically push that up to Station Master Cloud, and it will put you on the leaderboard and increment it. It will show up here as well next to everybody else's, like this, all these FT8 contacts here. And also, if you have in the website, if you go into file settings, you can put your QRZ logbook key here, and you can tick this box. And what that means is any contact that you make that gets sent into Station Master Cloud, no matter where it came from, whether it's WSJTX, Station Master Desktop, the mobile app, or whether you did it manually through the website, all of those contacts will be forwarded to QRZ automatically. And if I go to my QRZ, there we go. That was the test that I did a few moments ago. So we can see that they've already gone in to QRZ. Let me just grab a drink. Okay, so any other questions? Does it push to QRZ? Yes, it does. Sorry if I've missed any other questions. Yeah, it also links to N1MM as well. So how does that work? In file settings, there's a contact receiving and forwarding section. So the receiver will listen on this port, and this is actually the one this is the one that works for WSJTX. So it's basically every time you make a contact it sends it to this port, and log4OM will do the same thing. So if we fire up log4OM, I can quickly show you what you actually need to do within log4OM to make it work. Okay, so within log4OM, I don't go in here very often, so it's going to take me a second to find the right page. Settings, there we go. Program configuration. Go down on the left hand side, and where is it? It's here somewhere. Addif functions. Addif output, addif post. No, that's not it. Connections. Here it is. So it's this one here, connections, and you need to create this section here. So you need to add into this box here UDP outbound addif message, which you do by selecting up here. The name here doesn't matter. Just put port, station master, addif message, broadcast to that port, and click add, and then save and exit. That is it. Once you've done that, any contact you make in log4OM will automatically show up in Station Master, the same as it would do for WSJTX. The same applies for N1MM and Ham Radio Deluxe. I won't demonstrate those now, but the same thing applies basically within N1MM or Ham Radio Deluxe. You just need to go into the relevant part and tell it to forward to this port, and obviously you need to have the enable box ticked as well. Now while we're here, you can also forward, so let's say you're logging on Station Master, you can actually tell it to forward to these other programs. So you can tell it to forward to log4OM or WSJTX or any other program that supports the addif format. That's off by default because I don't use that. Obviously you need to avoid having a sort of a circle, vicious cycle. So if I put 2333 in here and click enable, it's going to go round and round and round forever, and God knows what would happen. I'm not sure if it will let you. Okay, so there we go. That's how the logging bit works. If we jump over here on the left hand side and click on a 40-meter cluster spot, let's say I'm on my radio and I can't actually hear this station on my radio because my aerial's rubbish, I can just click on SDR. So if I turn on desktop audio, I'm not sure that's coming through, but what that's done is fired up a web SDR in the background and automatically tuned to the frequency. If I turn my VFO now, you'll see that it follows. You can do this for any band. You can do it with Kiwi SDRs, so you can click on this map and pick any SDR in the world and it will work, or you can use the regular SDRs. Just click on one of these, and if you're temporarily using an SDR that you don't normally use, you can then go back and load default to get back to your normal one, which is hat green. Or you can click on set default to set this default as your default one. Now the beauty of this SDR integration here is as soon as you press your PTT to talk, it will automatically mute the web SDR. It will only do that if you've got, in this box here in settings web SDR, you do need to have this mute on PTT down ticked in order for that to work. So as soon as you press your PTT on the radio or your Vox kicks in or whatever, it will automatically mute the web SDR, which is super useful. A lot of people use this feature on Station Master, and for a lot of people this is the only reason they use Station Master, and that's fine, you know, absolutely fine. So there we go, big feature. Obviously you can put in an 11 meter one, you know, PMR, whatever it is, any of the SDRs should work. Okay, where are we? Yeah, absolutely, Danielle. This is the nuts. Blown away by how much thought you've put into it. Yeah, no, it's certainly a lot of hours gone into this. we've got a few other convenience features here as well, like a grey line. It's not an advanced one, it's just a basic grey line showing you where the grey line is. Telnet just shows you what's going on with the telnet. Both telnets feed into this same screen, so it can get a bit confusing because you see 11 meters and ham radio stuff popping up in the same page there, but it's all there if you need it. Your main logbook. So at the moment I've just got my normal logbook open. If I type in a call sign, press enter, it will show me at the top here all of my previous QSOs with that person. Obviously I talked to David a lot. And let's try somebody else. M1AOB, Richard. So Richard here. So I've spoken to Richard 9 times. We can see all the contacts we've had, all the different bands and stuff. If I double click on one of these, it will open up his QRZ page straight there within the application. So no popping off to different browsers. And you can see Richard actually here, M1AOB, he's actually a Station Master user, and what he's done is he's embedded his logbook from Station Master. And the way that he's done that, in fact, if we go to my profile as well on Station Master, you can see I've done the same thing. I've just got some different styling going on. Excuse me. So the way that you put that in there, go to the cloud tab, and you can do this on any website. So if you've got your own website and you want to embed your logs, just go to this log section. So go to the cloud tab, go to the log section, and once that's loaded up, just scroll down a little bit and it tells you here, look, add this code to your QRZ profile or website. So all you do is put that in your QRZ page. The one below is for SSTV, so that will show your SSTV contacts. So if I go back to my page, the top one is my G5 STU contacts. Below that I've got a separate one from a different Station Master account that is just for portable contacts. So all these are my /P ones. I've also got a separate kind of sub account for /M as well. I've got a separate account for the GR5 STU as well. So you can split everything down, and this one here is what you'll get if you embed the SSTV link into your QRZ. And most people I think know how to do that. You just go to QRZ, where do we go? Account, edit, and edit biography, and what you'll need to actually do is within here, so go to where you want to put it and just put like HHH or something, click on source, look for where that HHH is, and delete the line and just paste in my code from Station Master, and then click save. And what we'll see here, if I go back to my QRZ page, there we go, that's new now. Obviously the original one's down here. I've just added in that feed there. So that's how you do that, super easy. I'll just go back and remove that. Account, edit, biography, source, and it was that line there. Now when I click out of source, it will show it as iframe, because that's what it is. All these other ones show the same look, so you can't actually visualize it within this editor, but you can kind of look at it and delete it, save, and that will be back now to how it was before I added it. So anybody can do that. Anybody that's on Station Master can add their live feed into their cloud account. And yeah, no, absolutely, Tim. The web SDRs are a lifesaver, aren't they? It's just really annoying when Hack Green stops working. Okay, so hello Stu Dando, watching on Facebook. How you doing, mate? For everybody else watching, Stu Dando used to be the jester on CB radio back in the 90s. He's not a ham, but we'll forgive him. Okay, so where are we? So basically that's the desktop app. Is there anything else on the desktop apps anybody wants me to talk about before we move on? We've obviously got the map here. We've already showed that. If I go into mapping and click on last 12 hours and map all, I haven't actually logged anybody in the last 12 hours. So if I just go all, phone contacts, map all, what it will do over here on the left hand side, we can see it's going off to QRZ and trying to get the what's it called, the grid square for all of the people in my logbook, so it can put them on the map. Now this can take a long time if you've never done it before, and yeah, but it's only the first time you do it that it's slow, because it obviously remembers it for the next time. So how can I change my photo? To change a photo, Danielle, go to Photos, upload a photo, and then click Set as Profile Photo. That's all you need to do. Piece of cake. So once that's finished looking up all of my logbook details on QRZ, it will display everybody on the map. You know, lots of lines all over the place. It will pop up a message to tell me when it's done that in a moment. It might take a little while, so we'll forget about that for the moment. PSK reporter, if you're into FT8, so we know MR, I've forgotten his call sign, MR3FON, he's been busy on FT8, so let's see what he brings up. Oh, not a lot. So there we go. And the cool thing about having PSK reporter in here is it kind of remembers that you're logged in. So every time you go to the website, you don't have to remember that you don't have to type your call sign in, log in, you don't have to change all of your settings again. It remembers it. So every time you open this tab, even after restarting Station Master, all your preferences in your account remains logged in, which is super useful. SSTV. Okay, just a quick one here. So if you've got SSTV, I suggest you use Ionic. Do not use SSTV. The reason for that is Ionic is basically a port of SSTV that the guy has added support for OmniRig. That's the main reason to use it. So if we go into setup here, TXing, you can see there's an OmniRig option that's not available in the original version of SSTV. So for that reason you want to use this version, and there's a video on my YouTube of how to set that up and start using it, and you will need to watch that video because when you first open the program it's all in Italian, which can get a little bit confusing. Okay, so is it Spanish? You might be right actually, Nathan. Okay, so when you're using SSTV, what will happen is Station Master will monitor SSTV or Ionic for all of your new pictures that are being stored in, by SSTV or Ionic. They will automatically pop up here. That just happens, you don't need to do anything. And when you make a contact, so if I pretend we're doing SSTV at the moment, M1 test, and we'll put this on SSTV. So let's say I've copied or received these images using SSTV, and I want to log them now. I can highlight them here, click log. It will pop up to say selected SSTV images will be uploaded to Station Master Online. You will be able to delete them online. Click yes, and within a couple of seconds it will say OK. And if we go to the website, so if I bring up the actual web browser, scroll down a little bit, a second ago Stu logged these images here, and if I go to the SSTV gallery, we can see all of the SSTV images that people have logged through Station Master, and you can delete them. And again, an admin of the platform can also delete images, obviously in case somebody uploads something a little bit too fruity. The admins can delete them, so feel free to report stuff if somebody's being an idiot. So I will delete these because obviously this is just a test. There we go. And again, if I go back to my profile on Station Master, it will, I showed this at the beginning, but for anybody that joined, it's showing SSTV images here. Look, so all of my recent SSTV images get displayed here. Okay, and I think also if I go to the other person's page, it should also show it there. Yeah, it does. So again, so even if somebody's not on the platform, if I'm making contacts with that person or people on the platform are, then all of the information about that contact gets compiled onto that person's profile, even though they don't necessarily have a profile. But when they come along and claim the profile, they will inherit all of that information and can do with it what they like, essentially. Okay, so Ionic is great. Yeah, it is. I thought that was a new message, but it's not. So what we can see here while we're looking at the website is I'm on SSTV mode here now, look, and it's showing me on the website to everybody else that I'm on SSTV. Now if I go back to the desktop app and say, well, actually I'm on DMR, within a couple of seconds this will update to say DMR or whatever mode I'm on. It's not instant, but there we go, it's updated now. And you can send messages. I'm not going to open my inbox because God knows what message somebody sent me while I'm live streaming. But you can send people messages. So for example, if I go to Bob's page, I can send him a message, just a quick short message. The messages are encrypted, but they're not end-to-end encrypted, so they're not private. Don't assume any privacy in these messages. That's not what it's about. It's just direct messaging. But like I say, they are encrypted, but if I wanted to read them I could. I don't, but if I wanted to it wouldn't be difficult. Mind you, it's the same when you're using Facebook Messenger, by the way. It's exactly the same. Mr. Zuckerberg can read all your messages. Okay, where are we? Right, so lightning map, and again this is just a useful feature. It just shows you the lightning all across the world. Obviously I didn't build this, it's just built by these guys. I've just included it because it's helpful when you're on the bands, just to have a quick lightning map available. Now within the settings tab, I'll just mention this quickly, that in the user interface that I've hidden these tabs, but you've got Facebook Messenger, Discord, WhatsApp and Telegram. So if I untick those, in other words don't hide them, and restart, the desktop app now has, I'm not going to go into them because I don't know if I'm logged in. You've now got Messenger, WhatsApp, Discord and Telegram, so you can log into those accounts and start using them, you know, for the messengers. So again, that's just there as a convenience feature. So you know, if you've only got one screen, which is why I built Station Master, I thought I've only got one screen here and it might be a small screen. I don't want to be jumping back and forwards between programs. I want everything in one program. So that's why I added these messengers, because at the time I was, you know, using them and I thought, okay, let's add them in. But because I don't use them, I've got the option here to remove them. So we'll tick those boxes and restart, and they'll be gone. Right, we'll jump over to the mobile app in a minute, but there's a few other things in here. Okay, so you've got visuals. We've just got a logo thing here, so you've got a spare screen, you can just shove that up on your spare screen. WSJTX Spectrum. Now this is pretty cool. What this does, if I was on FT8, it would show the FT8 spectrum the same as you would normally see it on FT8, but it overlays the call sign of each person and where they are on the band from left to right. In fact, if I load that up now, that'll be quite a cool little demo. So where are we? Program launcher, WSJTZ. So we'll fire this up. We'll just listen on one of the I'm not going to transmit, but we'll listen on 40 meters. Nothing on 40. Try 20. That's better. So we should start receiving some signals now, and what will happen on, where's it gone? Visuals, WSJTX Spectrum. As it starts decoding the call signs of people that's coming through, it will overlay them left to right, and it will put them on here. It might take a few seconds for that to work, but we'll give that a second while I have a drink. Okay, so we'll be here another 10 minutes and that'll be it. I'm not going to go over an hour. I've got to edit this. Right, why is it not overlaying the call signs? It will eventually. It might just be taking a little while. No, it's not having it today, but basically when you install it, run this and you'll probably find it starts decoding the call signs. I'm not sure why mine's not working, but we're not going to wait for that now. Let's turn that off. So that's basically the desktop app. You can import and export your logbook as an ADIF file, so you can go to QRZ export, import it here. You can go here and export your log as a CSV or ADIF. So normal import export as you would expect. And what else have we got? Any TLE sat tracking ability? No, unfortunately not, Nathan. In fact, I don't even know what TLE stands for. So you'll have to educate me on that one. Essentially, Station Master was built for HF because that's what I was into at the time, still is, and I wanted to build a system to tick all the boxes of what I wanted from a logging platform. I tried M1MM, well, that's about all I tried, to be honest, and I thought, okay, yeah, this is great if you're contesting, but if you're just sat at your computer casually on the radio for a day or whatever, it's, you know, you end up having to open up lots of other web pages and tools and things, and I thought I just want it all in one. This isn't for contest logging, so don't think this is a replacement for M1MM. It's really not. You can use it for contest logging, so you can go M1AOB and you can kind of set it to say a serial number or ITU zone, CQ zone, other fixed value, and then when somebody gives you a number, you know, 001, you put it in this box here, and if I log that now and go to my log, it will store it all. So in effect it is contest logging, but what it won't do is give you a score. It doesn't do any of that. It doesn't say what your score is in real time like M1MM, and you would have to export your logbook at the end of the contest and upload it to M1MM and then get your scores that way. But so you can use it for contest logging. I just wouldn't advise it if you're a serious contester. If you're just casual, handing out a few numbers and points here there, aren't really bothered about winning, I mean, who is, you know, then you can use it if you want to. I mean, I do. Okay, so that's the contest logging. Let's just, I was going to show the mobile app. I'm not sure if I can. Let me see how quickly. VS Code. Let's see if I can make this work. Right, open recent Flutter. What I need to do is get the mobile app working in a what you call it, emulator. Oh, this is actually working easier than I thought. Okay, so the mobile app, for anybody that's interested, is built in Flutter, which is a Google technology. It uses a programming language called Dart in the background, and that's all of the talk we'll do about coding, but I thought I'd just throw that in there while it's loading up. So all this is basically Dart. So this is the mobile app. So if you go to the app stores now and type in Station Master Cloud, you do have to type in station space master space cloud. Station Master Cloud. Type that in. It will come up and you can install it for free. It's totally free now. I did used to charge for it. The reason for charging was to just stop thousands of people downloading the app thinking it was something it wasn't, and just, you know, causing problems on the platform. But I thought, now, you know what, this is not a problem, let's just make it free. So you download the app and you connect it to your cloud account. So the account that you would have created earlier on Station Master Online, the same login details that you used there, type those into here. I'm already signed in, so I don't need to do that. And what I can do is go to all logs. So this works on iPhone, tablets, you know, iPad, Android tablets, the whole shebang. This will work on, and it's exactly the same app, so it looks the same on all of them. So this all logs is basically the main feed of everybody on the platform, so we can see what other people are doing. So if I'm out mobile or portable, I can look at my phone and I can see, oh, you know, have a quick scroll up and down and see who's logging what. on the platform at the moment, see if there's any interesting DX about or whatever. If I'm not interested in what other people are doing, then I can click on my logs at the bottom. Now this is pulling in everything from Station Master Cloud. So you've got to remember, the cloud is essentially storing all of your contacts. It doesn't matter if you're logging through the desktop, the website, or the mobile app. They all get sent up to the cloud, which means this mobile app can read them and present them to you through the mobile app. So there we go. These are the tests that I did earlier. I can click on them, get some basic information. Now this is a basic app. This isn't fully featured at the moment. I've got big plans for it, but it really is basic features. So if I'm in my logs, I can actually scroll left and delete this contact, and it's warning me that if this is in QRZ as well, it will delete it from QRZ as well. So I can delete that. Happy days. And let's delete that one as well, because that was a test, and that was also a test, so we'll delete that one as well. So that's also deleting it from QRZ, so I don't need to go off to multiple platforms and delete it. If I want to log a new contact, so when I'm mobile, obviously looking at this logbook, this log Richard, just to annoy him, M1A, where are we, AOB, we can look him up and it will say full license, roughly where he is in the world, ITU zone and what have you. It doesn't do a name lookup or anything like that at the moment. I will be adding that. So that's Richard. Frequency again in kilohertz, sent, received and mode. So we've got all the basic modes there. I will be adding more modes, but at the moment you would just do SSB. Click log. There you go, done. Now if I go back to the website, scroll down, there we go, we can see, everybody else can see I've just logged M1AOB, and that was through the mobile app. So again, this sort of highlights that this main feed here is showing you everything that everybody's up to on the platform. It doesn't, whether they're using Log4OM, Ham Radio Deluxe, WSJTX, the mobile app, Station Master Desktop, it doesn't matter. Whatever it is, it all feeds into this one feed here. And a lot of people, as soon as they get on the radio for the day or whatever, they'll jump on Station Master, and this is the first place they look to see, right, who's logging what at the moment, what's there out there of interest. And obviously you've got the leaderboards as well, which is it's just a bit of fun really. At the end of the day, at midnight UTC, the system sends out an email with the leaderboards on. So if you're on the leaderboard, you'll get an email to say what position you were, because you might have left the radio at 10 o'clock at number 1, and then at midnight you might be number 3 or whatever. But yeah, it sends out an email for everybody, and it's all mixed in there, 11 meters and everybody else, doesn't discriminate. You're all on the same leaderboard. We are all radio operators, and I am actually trying to encourage 11 meter operators onto the platform as well, because I think it's super cool, especially now that I've added on the DX cluster. So looks like William's just signed up, so we'll authorize him, and a couple more minutes to go and we'll end the stream, because I think I've covered all the kind of basics really, all the important stuff anyway. So if we type in this call sign here, click on QRZ, so there's William, and he's just signed up for Station Master, so we'll give him his little blue badge so that he can use the system. There we go. It might take a little while to show up on the home page, but that's done. And Anthony there as well has just signed up by the look of it, so we'll sort you out. Like I was saying, only the admins can do this, so myself and David at the moment are admins. And there we go. Right, any questions before we go, because I'm going to end the stream in a moment. I think I've covered essentially the basics, but I just want to remind people this is not, I'm not trying to convert you, I'm not trying to make you change platforms, change loggers. If you're happy with what you're doing, crack on. This is just here if you think it's for you. That's really all it is. So don't complain that it doesn't do this or XYZ. It's not supposed to be a clone. I don't want it to be just another platform, a logger that does the same as everything else. It's designed to be different, and if it ain't for you, it ain't for you. Simple. If it is, happy days. Do you have a Station Master logo? Well, yeah, it's there, Lee. I'm not sure what you mean, mate. Okay, so thanks anybody that tuned in. If you've got any questions I didn't answer because I haven't seen it in the chat, then feel free pop them in the comments and I will, you know, answer them there afterwards. But thanks anybody that dropped in. I'm not going to drag on. An hour is long enough, I'm sure. I'm going to edit this video afterwards in the YouTube studio to cut out all the waffle or me coughing. Apologies for that. And hello Keith, LZ4DJ, who's just dropped in. Can you use the Logger app without being connected to the internet? No, you must be connected to the internet to use the mobile app, Keith, at the moment. I am going to update it. In a couple of months' time there'll be an update which will include an offline mode, so you'll be able to use it offline, and as soon as it detects you're back online it will sync it all straight up to Station Master Cloud and QRZ and all the other stuff. So yeah, hope that answers your question, mate, and thanks anybody. We'll call it a day. Let's find the end button. Thanks anybody that dropped in, and 73 for now. Bye bye.